The first meaning of qadr is calculation. Calculation from taqdeer. Taqdeer is calculation. Okay? Like وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْعُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ. Like Surah Yasin, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, the moon, we gave calculation to its stages. You know, Allah calculated the stages of the moon. So that's taqdeer from Allah. وَقَدَّرْنَاهَا تَقْدِيرًا, Allah says. Now, the second meaning, so the first is calculation. The second meaning of qadr is honor and respect. Al-sharaf wal-manzila wal-makana. You know, the nobility and respect. That's why they say uluhu qadrihi in Arabic. How high his respect is. In Urdu speakers will say, "Main aapki badi qadar karta hu." Urdu speakers use this, right? I respect you a lot. Okay? So the word qadr means calculation, and the word qadr also means honor and respect. We'll try to remember that. The final meaning of qadr is power. The word qadr also means power. This is why we say, "Inna Allaha ala kulli shay'in qadir." Allah has complete power over everything. He has capability to create something like them too. In other words, Allah's capability and His power is also captured inside the word qadr, okay, or qadir. So 3 meanings. Let's see if you can remind me. What was 1, 2, and 3? What was 1? Calculation. What was 2? Respect. 3?
Power.
Okay, I chose this order in order of importance. Why is this the night of calculation? Because everything you will do and get for the next year is calculated when? This night. This is the night of your qadr. This is the night when your qadr will change if you make the right dua and the right ibadah. This is why it's the night of qadr for you. You understand that point? That's one reason why this night is important. What was the second? This night is the night of honor and respect. Aren't human beings honored when Allah sent them Jibreel alayhi salam and the angels were coming down? Isn't that a special? When an important person comes to your house, isn't that respect for you? Isn't that an honor? When a alim travels from across the Atlantic Ocean to come visit us and speak in our masajid, aren't we honored that they came and visited us? Jibreel alayhi salam is coming from under the arsh of Allah. And the angels are coming behind him to visit us. Aren't we being honored tonight? And on top of that, human beings, by the way, the first revelation in Iqra' bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, what did Allah say about Himself? Iqra' wa rabbuka al-akram. Recite, and your master is the most noble, meaning the Quran was given to you out of respect for you. No other creation of Allah received the Quran. You have the honor of receiving the Quran. This is the night when we were honored with the Quran, so this is the night of honor. Human beings were dignified and honored with the word of Allah tonight. Human beings found their own dignity tonight. This is the night. So it's the way that when our destiny is calculated, and the night we get honored. And we got honored. The original honor was the coming of the Quran on this night. What was the third meaning? I'll give you a small clue about the power. Allah gave us a small sample of how powerful this night is in this surah. What did He tell us? It's so powerful that you do anything in this night and it's multiplied by at least 83 years, at least 1,000 months, at least. How much more we don't even know. Now look, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatul qadr. First ayah, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatul qadr. We sent the Quran, it down in laylatul qadr. We honored humanity. That's the first ayah is about the honor. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. The first ayah was about honor. The second ayah is about the power of Laylatul Qadr. The second and third ayah, because that's the night that's better than 1,000 months. Then what does Allah say? تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ. Every decision, the angels come down with every decision of Allah. What is that? What do they come down with? The calculations that Allah made for every single person. So the honor and the power and the calculation, all three of them are in this surah, and that is why this night is more peace than any other night. Now we get to the final point, and probably the most, in my opinion, the most important point. My brothers and my sisters, my fathers, my mothers, my children, my younger brothers and sisters, please try to remember this. I try to remember it, man. It humbles every human being. Just think about what happened that night. Think about the fact that almost 600 years went and there was no messenger. There was no messenger. Humanity was in darkness. Humanity was completely, utterly in darkness. There was no guidance, no revelation. The last messenger that came before Isa alayhi salam, his teachings of Tawheed were also turned into Tathlith. They were turned into a trinity. What came to be Tawheed was turned into Shirk. Every place was dark, and no place was darker than Makkah. The house built by Ibrahim alayhi salam was covered with idols. People are worshipping all kinds of wrong gods. Darkness upon darkness upon darkness. And then in the middle of that darkness, كَبَدْرٍ تَجَلَّى مِنْ بَيْنِ الْغَمَامِ, like a moon that comes out in the full moon that comes out in the middle of the night, like that. Allah decides to send His light. You know when you really appreciate light? When you've been in the dark for a long time. Allah could have sent the Quran during the day. He could have. He chose to send the Quran during the night. And the Quran is described as light. فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَالنُّورِ الَّذِي أَنزَلْنَا. Humanity was in the night, and Allah decided to bring them light. They were in the dark, and Allah decided to give them light that night. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in a cave, he was seeking for some light, he was looking for the answer, and Allah gave him Jibreel alayhi salam, and He made him read. And those few minutes that he spent with Jibreel alayhi salam, that few minutes, that is when the entire future of humanity changed. The entire future of humanity was decided that night. This is it. You know, the biggest sign of the Day of Judgment is the revelation of the Quran, the appointment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the biggest sign of Judgment Day. Actually, according to the Isharat in Surah Al-Rahman, there are two major events. The first major event is Allama al-Quran. He taught the Quran. And the only other major event left is when the sun and the moon. Judgment Day begins. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. When the stars and the tree make sajda. You know when the tree falls? All the trees are going to start falling. When is that going to happen? Judgment Day. When the stars are going to start falling. When is that going to happen? Judgment Day. So some ulama say when Najmu wa Shajaru Yasjudan isn't just about dunya, it's about akhirah. So the first Allah says He taught the Quran, and the only major event left is the world coming to an end. So the world's destiny, the conclusion of humanity's journey, was decided that night. We are part of the last chapter of human history. You and I, we're the last chapters of human history. That's it. And that night, we celebrate every single year. We celebrate what happened in that night. And what happened that night, wallahi, is very powerful. What the messenger was given, there has never been anything more powerful than what happened that night. We Muslims, I don't care how much you think we are weak. I don't care how much you think we have no influence. I don't care what you think of the state of the Ummah today. I tell you, we have something more powerful than any creation ever in the history of all creation. We have the Book of Allah that we celebrate tonight. This is the night of power. And if we don't seek this book, the Ummah will never have power. If we don't come back to this book, forget about power. There is no power. This is Laylatul Qadr because Quran was given. The powerful word of Allah was given. The angel who came with the Quwwah, he was so powerful that he just coming down with the Quran, I keep saying this over and over again in my talks, the entire sky got shut down. You know, for 23 years, the angels couldn't go into the jinn could not go into the sky. For 23 years. The jinn go in the sky all the time. For 23 years, it was locked down. They had to hang out on the earth. They were stuck. There were signs put up. They're trying to go up, they start getting shot at. This is mentioned in Surah Al-Jinn. That's how powerful the Quran was. It locked the entire skies down. And now we have it. We have this. But we don't understand its power. I don't appreciate its power. We think power lies in money, in government, in military. Power lies in, politics. Power lies in, some other, entity or another. Power is in the word of Allah. مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَقَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. They didn't appreciate and realize the same word, qadar. مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. They didn't calculate the true worth of Allah like He deserved to be appreciated. No doubt Allah is mighty. Allah is powerful. And He's the ultimate authority. This, I tell you, there is no more empowerment of a human being than when they internalize the word of Allah. There's nothing that will give you more power than that. And by the way, so that night, the calculations were made for all of human history, the future of humanity. That night, human beings were given the most powerful guidance they could ever be given. And that night also, human beings were dignified and honored more than any human being has ever been dignified and honored by means of giving our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam the Quran. This Quran was given on that night, which means all three of those meanings have to do with the Quran. Our destiny, our future has to do with the Quran. How much this ummah holds on to this Quran. Our dignity as a people has to do with the Quran. And whether or not we become a powerful people has entirely to do with this Quran. This is Laylatul Qadr. And I told you in the beginning of my talk, if you can make the right decisions as a person in this night, the rest of your life is in peace. If we as an ummah can come back to Allah, come back to the Quran in Laylatul Qadr, man, I tell you, the face of the ummah will change. We will look like a different nation. You won't recognize us on the 28th, the 30th of Ramadan, the 28th, the 25th, 26th. And yeah, which one of those odd nights it is, Allah only knows. But when Laylatul Qadr is over, we're going to be a different ummah. Just like after that, humanity was never the same again. It was just never the same again. This is Salamun hiya hatta matla'i al-fajr. As I conclude, I want to share with you just a small reflection about just how Allah talks about Laylatul Qadr. A couple more things. Did you know nowhere else in the Quran, whenever Allah asks the question, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا عِلِّيُّونَ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا سِجِّينٌ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الطَّارِقُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْفَصْلُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا السَّقَرُ. Whenever he asks that question, he answers it. But when he answers it, he does not repeat the words itself. For example, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْحُطَمَةُ. What comes next? No, he doesn't say al-hutama, narullahi al-muqada. He doesn't repeat the word hutama again. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ يَوْمَ يَكُونُ النَّاسُ. It changes. You don't say al-qari'atu yawma yakunu an-nas. You don't do that. In this surah, Allah did not say, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنَ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. No. You repeated it again, saying what? لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. Nowhere in the Quran is the word itself repeated over and over again, and nowhere in the Quran did Allah put that question that has to do with Wahy itself. In other words, this cannot be compared to any other great creation of Allah. This gift of Allah, this night of Allah that He created, so He could put revelation of Quran in it, cannot be compared to anything else, even in the whole Quran. It stands alone. It stands by itself. 3 times. Even we don't even say وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ. We say فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَ. We don't say مَا هَاوِيَةٌ. We don't repeat the word هَاوِيَةٌ. We just say مَا هِيَ. Allah did not say here وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَ. You repeated Laylatul Qadr, Laylatul Qadr, Laylatul Qadr. Why? They say al-Zahir akad wa aqwa min al-Dhamir. When you mention it, it is way more powerful than the pronoun. Allah wanted you to hear Laylatul Qadr, Laylatul Qadr, Laylatul Qadr 3 times over in this short surah. He wanted you to hear this over and over again so you internalize how important Qadr is in the life of a Muslim and how important this night is in the life of a Muslim. Ya Rabb. And all of it going back to Allah's book. Now the real question is, who of us will seek dignity after this month is done with Allah's book? Who of us is going to seek strength from Allah's book? Who of us is going to understand that their entire destiny, their entire future is dependent on their relationship with Allah's book? Who is going to do that? If you do that, that means you're finding peace in your life. That means chances are you found Laylatul Qadr. If nothing changed in your life, then you probably didn't find Laylatul Qadr. If you go back to normal, because you know what we do at Eid, right? You know what we do at Eid. Eid is our celebration that obedience to Allah is finally over. I'm just telling it like it is, okay? So you've been holding off on watching movies, man, from Allah, You know, you got your iPhone and your iTunes start playing a song automatically when it connects to Bluetooth. You know, pause it, guys, it's Ramadan, yo. Put the Quran on instead. But it's Eid, man! Dude, how many episodes did I miss? Oh my God, they came out with that movie already? I wasn't even keeping up. My God, thank God Shaitan is back. You know, you go back to normal again. You go back to what you were again. That means that one message, that one night, that changed the future of all of humanity, you didn't find it. Because if you found it, you would have changed. That night changed all of humanity. That changed the course of the entire civilizations of the world. The map of the world would not look the same if it wasn't for that night. It would not look the same. Your life and mine would not be the same if it wasn't for that night. And if that night is not enough for you to change, it's not, nothing's missing in the night, something is missing in you. You didn't catch it. You didn't catch it. Or you didn't realize what it was. Maybe that's why Allah says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. Do you have any clue what Laylatul Qadr actually is? Do you have any idea? Did you even realize what it does? Maybe you didn't realize what this is. Allah would not repeat this just so you get some thawab and go home. Eat some pakode in the morning or in the evening and you're done. Laylatul Qadr is over. No. Laylatul Qadr is the night where the ummah changes. Where every believer changes. I make sincere dua this year, the next year, the next year, the next year, that we continue to find Laylatul Qadr and we continue to become the people Allah wants us to become through this profound book. I pray that this is a year in which your understanding of the Quran increases, your love of the Quran increases, your recitation of the Quran increases, your memorization of the Quran increases, your tajweed of the Quran increases, your sharing of the Quran with your family increases, your sharing of the Quran with non-Muslims increases, your appreciation and your view of the world changes from you just see the world through the ayat of the Quran as your relationship progresses. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us of the people of this book. May Allah Azza wa Jal make this Quran a testimony and a witness in our favor and not against us. And I pray that Allah Azza wa Jal have all of us find Laylatul Qadr before our time is up in this month. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikr al-Hakim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Can you explain 1 minute about the istighfar? How to do the istighfar?
Just do sincere istighfar. There's no how to. Just do it. Just say astaghfirullah. Say the beloved hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'afu anni ya afu. Make that dua sincerely. Dua is not about which words you say. I'm talking to Desis right now. Okay, Desis, listen up. कौन सी दुआ पढ़नी चाहिए? सारा जोर इसी पे कौन सी दुआ पढ़े? कैसे पढ़े? उस पर कोई जोर नहीं है। भाई दुआ का मकसद है कैसे पढ़ी जाती है, किस आजी से पढ़ी जाती है, किस इखलास से दुआ पढ़ी जाती है। हमें अल्फाज की फिक्र पड़ी है, कौन से अल्फाज पढ़ो, कौन से अल्फाज पढ़ो, कौन से अल्फाज पढ़ो। अल्फाज का पीछा छोड़ो, अल्फाज बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन अल्फाज के पीछे जो इखलास है ना, जो तौबा है अल्फाज के पीछे, उसका ख्याल रखो, उसकी फिक्र करो। फिर अल्लाह इन अल्लाह अज़्ज़ा व जल्ल यक़बुलु मा यख़रुजु मा यसिलु मिनल क़ुलूब। Allah क्या चीज़ कबूल करता है? What does Allah accept? What comes out of the heart. You can make dua in Punjabi. If it's sincere, Allah will accept it. Allah hears. But if you make dua, the masnoon du'as of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but you have no idea what you're saying, and you don't even know what you're saying, that's not istighfar. That's not dua. Dua is what comes from the heart. You have to go in a corner in your house and sit there and cry in front of Allah and cry in English and Spanish and German and French, cry in Punjabi, cry in, Saraiki, whatever you speak, go cry in that language, it does not matter. But make it sincere. That's what Allah wants. إِلَّا مَنَ اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. On that day, no money will benefit, no children will benefit, no وَلَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنَ اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Except for one who comes to Allah with a sound heart. So this is the only advice I can give you. You can write down the masnoon du'as, and that's a good thing. But man, that's the words of the dua. You have to understand the heart of the dua. The heart of the dua. That's what dua really is. When a slave is just calling his master, and the slave is saying, Ya Rab, I am worthless. I have made so many mistakes. Forgive me, Ya Rab. Forgive me. I have lost so many opportunities this Ramadan. So many nights I didn't pray. So many nights I overslept. So many fasts I did sins. While I was fasting, I didn't even care. So many days I prayed, I had no idea what I was saying in Salah. So many, I didn't even shed a single tear this entire Ramadan. Ya Rab, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, Ya Rab. Overlook all of it, Ya Rab. Make me sincere, soften my heart. Give me the gift of tears for you. Give me that gift. I haven't had that gift in my life. Ya Allah, give that gift to me. I want to enjoy crying out of sincerity to you, to want to earn your forgiveness. I haven't had it and I want it. Because there's no treasure greater than the tear that comes out of the eyes that came from the melting heart inside here. When we get that, you know, يَخِرُّونَ مِنْ أَذْقَانِ يَبْكُونَ, Quran says. They fall on their faces, crying, crying, crying sajda, people, crying sajda. And not here in front of everybody. Go home and cry. Go home and cry. Go cry in the day, cry in the night. This is the days to cry. Crying is a sign that your heart is still alive. And don't pretend to cry like, don't do that. Think about what you've been doing. Think about what you've been doing, what you haven't been doing. And wallahi, if you have any conscience inside you, the tears will come on their own. They will come on their own. We just have to become people of muhasabah. We have to account for ourselves. What have I been doing? None of us, wallahi, none of us, myself, yourself, none of us can look back these few days and say, I made the most of Ramadan. None of us. Even this month, Allah gave us such a gift. Such a gift. We got lazy. We had down days, we had up days. Some days were better than others. You know. We stood in salah behind the imam and we went, like we did that. You know. The sajda was not a sajda, it was a break, like, oh. That wasn't a real sajda. You know, that wasn't ibadah. Ibadah is when a slave is humble before their master. You know. And you know, on the outside, all of us look like we made salah. But Allah doesn't look at the outside alone. Allah looks at what's going on inside you. And what's going on inside you, some of you might be down here, and some of you might be up there. But on the outside, we all look equal. We all look the same. We have to worry about what is on the inside this month. Let's make it this month, that we go back to what is inside of us. So let's all make istighfar in the most genuine possible way. You know, just ask Allah to forgive me. Allah Azza wa Jalla forgive every single one of us. Assalamu alaikum.